Good morning, Lompoc.
Good morning, Lompoc. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So glad to have you all here. We have another packed show. We're super excited to go into the weekend.
You sound like a broken record.
I think
even if we don't have a packed show, he's still going to say that. So just prepare yourselves.
Well, think about it. Today we have new, fresh music from our good friend Anna Cole.
We do. Yes, that's true.
We celebrate a nurse who helped deliver thousands of babies here in the Lompoc Valley.
Yep.
I mean, that's a big deal.
Yep.
Great conversation with that. And we celebrate some people recovering.
Yep, we have some more good news.
So I think we have a fun show packed for you guys today. So.
And hopefully you all had a good week and got to return to some little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
I know it's not quite there yet, but restaurants are open. It seems most restaurants are open, and the others will be open very soon. And they've been sharing updates. There was an awesome interview with Matt Kettman and a few people from few of the chefs. So Michael Servin from. Not Michael Servin. Michael, Mitchell.
Mitchell Servin.
Mitchell Servin from Bouchon's. He was kind of sharing his experiences during this time and how they're going to reopen and approach that. And Chef Daisy from Bell's in Los Alamos was sharing her updates. That was a great interview. If you want to check that out and kind of see what the restaurant's been going through, I think it gives us a lot of perspective on what's happening.
It's really interesting from hearing that conversation between the different owners and chefs. And you can already hear it, the way their brains think, the way they're innovating into the future. They're as uncertain as a lot of us are, but they're motivated to try to make it work and figure it out.
And they're all strategizing a little bit differently and anticipating what could happen and how to take care of all their guests the best that they can. So that was really cool. And then yesterday we saw Carissa here in Lompoc. She is an artist, and she is, you might know her by the Succulent Queen. She does these gorgeous succulent bouquets. She was posting all these amazing photos of tide pools. Apparently there's an extreme tide that was happening.
Low tide.
Well, it was
extreme low tide.
That's what I'm saying. It was an extreme negative tide that was happening on the coast. So it revealed all this amazing sea life that we don't normally get to see. So that's her little boy out there. And little sea anemones in the sand that would normally be underwater.
That's so cool.
And starfish.
Wow.
Isn't that gorgeous? They're so cool.
We have to get out there.
She's got the little shaka going on. Yeah, and she also shared this fun little video of that too. You can kind of see them there under the water. So that was pretty cool.
So much life.
We tried to get out there. Unfortunately, there was, we drove out yesterday morning, and there was a lady that had fallen off of a horse. And so she... It was pretty crazy. So we weren't able to get past. The road was blocked for a little while there.
Yeah.
So
well, we hope she recovers nicely. I'm sure that was super dramatic and traumatic.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. So.
But anyway, we're eventually going to make it out to Halama and try to check out those tide pools. And then we thought it'd be fun to remind people of some of the interesting history specifically connected with the Halama area. And celebrate all things Halama. It's kind of our little backyard secret for Lompoc.
And
it's a beautiful beach.
Craving a Halama burger too. That sounds delicious.
I'll take a double.
Now.
I'm so hungry.
We're actually really hungry. Seriously.
Anybody want to go grab a Halama burger with us sometime soon?
I think we'll have to head out there tomorrow or do something, right?
We have to do. I almost forgot. And we'll just sit here and wait until you guys do.
What?
I'm just kidding. Don't forget to share this with your friends. We appreciate it. There's a bunch of people waking up this morning trying to start their weekend with a smile. If you are inclined, please share with your friends. We always appreciate that.
Yes, we do. And another cool thing that happened this week, I was invited to a Sister Sprinkles group, and I didn't go into it first because I didn't know what it was, and then I finally accepted the invitation. Thank you so much, Krista King, for inviting me to the group. And it's a private group, but you can look them up and click to join, and if you're a nice person, they'll let you in. But basically the whole goal is to just let me just read the mission statement. It says you can pick any person, someone you know, a perfect stranger, essential worker, a neighbor. It's completely up to you. Giving and boosting morale is the point of this group. Being surprised with spirits is a bonus. Spread the love during these uncertain times. This is like a ding-dong ditch for adults. So what could be more fun? So that was really cool. It looks like they created this group sometime in May, and the whole goal is to just drop off little gifts to brighten people's days and spread love, and then you post a photo of it and put it on there. So there were thousands and thousands and thousands of photos already. I wasn't able to find the very beginning, but check them out if you wanted to join and maybe just start spreading some love around Lompoc.
I'm ready for sprinkles, Michelle.
You get no sprinkles for you, Jeremy.
Fine.
But also more good news, right? From there, you might have heard there was a chef over at the Hitching Post. Him and his wife had both gotten COVID, and
this is the Meza family.
Yes.
And this is going back 2 months ago.
Yeah, and Louis Meza was also, the husband was very sick. He recovered, but his wife Melissa has been in the hospital for 60 days.
She was on a respirator, and they helped her recover. And Santa Maria Times was there, and they captured a little video. We're only playing a part of that video, but it's so feel good. I know it's Santa Maria, but hey, there's people that work at the Hitching Post that live in Lompoc too.
It's all one community.
We're all family.
Right?
We're in the same county. So anyway, go look up this full video on Santa Maria Times.
Cool.
This is awesome. So cool.
So this is Melissa.
All the
she
staff,
recovered.
Staff at the hospital.
That was like 60 days. Can you imagine that?
Can't even imagine.
That was pretty amazing.
Look, after 2 months, he gets to put her wedding ring back on. So beautiful. Such a great story.
A lot of perspective too, right? Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, a reminder from those folks, they just ask that people, out of respect, if you can, I know it's controversial to some, but for those that are vulnerable, please consider wearing your mask. There's a reason for it. And if it can help in the slightest, prevent some more health conditions or issues, we're going to try to do that.
It doesn't hurt, that's for sure. And then we did talk about SpaceX launch on Wednesday. It was supposed to happen.
And it didn't happen yet.
It got postponed. It is going to be happening tomorrow.
As far as I know,
these are the astronauts.
And you guys can type in comments and let us know, but I don't know that they have a very specific launch time. I'm sure there's a window, but I think it's in flux. So if anyone has an update on that,
but you can go to NASA's YouTube channel to find out. But this was a big deal. So it'll be the first manned spaceship launch since 2011 from NASA.
Kind of a big deal.
And I'd heard SpaceX and Boeing were competing for this to try to see who could make it happen first, and SpaceX won. So congratulations,
SpaceX also doesn't make planes for the whole world, so it's like they could focus maybe a little bit
Very,
more.
very true.
Anyway, hopefully that goes off successfully, and that's tomorrow. And we have a lot more stuff to talk to you guys about tomorrow, but we'll do that a little bit later in the show.
Oh, are you going to go live?
No, we were talking about the food drive.
Oh, yes.
We'll talk about that.
And then we talked a little bit about Tess Hain, who celebrated 38 years as an RN in the OB ward of.
We had so many people comment and say, "Oh my God, we love Tess. She's amazing. Oh my God, Tess." So we feel super lucky that her very first
Zoom interview was with us. Yay! We're so honored.
And it's so awesome. She is a joy to talk to.
She's a breath of fresh air.
Makes Lompoc look amazing.
Yeah.
And quick caveat: her husband, Jules.
Yes, Jules Hain
was the manager at our local Vaughn's grocery store for over 30 years.
Yep,
so this
long-time local. She moved here when she was 8, but so she's also still a long-time local Lompoc. Yeah. So amazing awesome Lompocians. This was a few slides from her celebration. She delivered thousands and thousands of babies. That's
this is her 38 years of service there at Lompoc Valley Medical Center.
There she is.
So
we wanted to play this interview with Tess. She shared a little bit about her experience there and just her perspective. And we just think that Tess is such a breath of fresh air.
Celebrate Tess with us.
Thank you so much, Tess, for joining us and taking the time to talk with us, and enjoy your retirement. So here is Tess.
You just celebrated retiring. You started working. I don't know if you started working in that department or at the hospital in 1983.
Actually, it was 1976 when I started. I was 18. I had just graduated with high school, and I was a nursing assistant at the time. And then in 1980, I had my daughter, my second daughter. She was a little on the sick side, so I stopped and went back in 1983 when I went to the RN program and got my RN. One of the things that I liked about OB, as odd as this might sound, is kind of an intimate setting. You know, this is a real miracle, you know, with this couple having their baby. And, you know, it's just such a blessing to be invited into that. So they were always our boss, the patient and her husband, or her patient and her partner. They're always our boss, but we would just kind of give them helpful hints on what we would think would be the best for whatever scenario we had. It's just a wonderful field to help bring in a life, to the world. So.
And I heard that you were always very vocal about, speaking up for OB rights. And how
Yes.
touch on that at all?
I always felt like some ways could be better for the patient, and you have to be a patient advocate, and you have to be a nursing advocate, like especially with the younger girls that come in. We're not like a huge hospital. Doctors can't yell at the nurses here. If they even try, it wouldn't go over too well. So I was a little outspoken there, but, and then outspoken, as my career went on, things would change, and some for the better, and some I'd say, well, I think let's just chit chat and see, if we think that is best for our patients. But you know what? We work together, and, any situation, you're never alone, which makes it nice. You always have your coworkers with you. And I think that's why we're so close. We're really close. We love each other a lot.
Last months have probably been very different. So how was your routine impacted?
We had to, previously, we'd let family members come in. We'd let 3 come in during delivery. And it was such a special time for them. And it was a special time for them. But we had to make it just one person. And normally it's, their significant other is the one. So like their children couldn't come in. Children of the patient could come into our hospital as long as after the baby is born, they didn't have a fever, cold, anything like that. And it worked out really well. So it was more of a family bonding at that time. So that was kind of taken away with the coronavirus, and, and we all understand why. So it's just was very quiet, and you would see some moms cry because their children couldn't come in, Yeah, and then of course we had to wear extra gear.
Right.
So, when all of us girls were just sweating, with your masks, and then to put another shield on, and a little bit more material on us.
Right.
Not necessarily the way that you expected to sort of wind down into retirement.
No, not at all. But, some good things came about, in my opinion, with that. Outside of the hospital, it was hard inside the hospital. I'd have to admit that. But outside of the hospital, you see more families walking, and you see, riding their bikes together and laughing and stuff. So, I've always tried to kind of look on the upside, and see what we could see from this virus. So that part I like.
You've spent all these years working long shifts, working your butt off. You're still young. What are you guys planning to do with all this retirement time?
I loved you guys for a reason. Well, I'm very lucky because I love my husband very much. We bought a fifth wheel a couple years ago, so my husband and I are going to do that. I have family in Kansas and Alabama. I came from a big Irish family, so we'll probably go see them there. But basically, just relaxing with Jules.
Aww.
I mean, we have a good time. We have a good time together. We really do. So, but it's been I've been very lucky, and I've been very fortunate to have a life that I. Oh, look, I'm getting all teary. Oh my.
You deserve all of the accolades and celebrations that they put for you. And we just want the community to know that a lot of kids were born, and they were born with somebody taking really cautious care, and that was because you were there. So that's really cool. Thank you for sharing your time with us.
Well, thank you for asking me. I feel really honored, and I'm just like so glad I was able to push the right buttons. I'm like,
you did perfect.
She's so cute.
Oh, she's adorable.
That was our first time meeting Tess. So we love you, Tess. You're awesome. Such a breath of fresh air.
Until about a week ago, I had never heard of Tess. And Nora over at the hospital, she had posted a little article about her retirement. And I was like, oh, that's really great. And then we dug into it and found out, just so many, just such a great story. So again, thank you to her. I hope that they don't spend all of their time away from Lompoc and the fifth wheel, but they come back and visit.
Well, they have grandbabies here. So she said she's doing a lot of babysitting too. She's hoping after all this kind of dies down a little bit. But I really appreciated her perspective. I know this has been an incredibly hard time for a lot of people. It's been different for every situation, but some people did get to spend a lot more time with their families these last couple months. And I know for me personally, I feel, I don't know, I just feel more like loving, and I love people. It reminded me how much I love people. So if anything, not you, but if anything came out of that, well, I mean, kind of, if anything came out of this, I think it just reminded me how much I love and adore people.
And me.
Yes.
No pressure. All right, where are we at? We got a little.
So on Wednesday, Jeremy spun the wheel for Brad.
Yes.
And we landed on a Negroni for today. And Negronis are like one of my favorite cocktails. I haven't had a Negroni since we were in Italy in October.
Man.
And I was trying to find some images from Italy for the video, and God, it took me back. Yeah. And I realized I have no photos on my phone, but they're all on your phone. And when I was looking through them, it just really made me miss traveling. So I really hope we get to travel again someday soon and possibly go back to Italy and see that. So check out this recipe and have yourself a Negroni.
It's really
wait,
good.
Real quick. There was a great quote about Negroni from Orson Welles. 1947, when he had his first Negroni in Rome. He said something to the effect of, this is just such a wonderful drink. The bitters from the Campari help the liver, and the gin hurts the liver. So together, they cancel each other out, and that's called balance. So that's what I like to think about.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Brad here, also known as my favorite bartender. Boy, am I excited today. Why are you excited, Brad, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. I'm gonna show you how to make a Negroni. But not just a traditional Negroni, a fusion Negroni. Imagine if Florence, Italy, and Oaxaca City, Mexico met and fell in love and decided to have a Negroni before dinner, and eventually they made a baby. I'm so distracted right now. This Negroni is going to be delicious, and I can't wait to show you how to make it. So here we go. But wait, I almost forgot. There's a little bit of history that you have to know. Over in Italy, in Florence, Italy, there was a little cafe called Cafe Cassoni, and there was Count Negroni, who used to drink something called a Torino Milano, which was basically Campari and sweet vermouth, watered down with soda water. And that made him so upset he demanded a change. And so they switched out that soda water with something slightly more potent. Yes, you guessed it, gin. So in today's cocktail, instead of using gin and the fusion part with Oaxaca City, Mexico, we're gonna make a Negroni with mezcal. We are that cool. All right, let's get started. So the first step to this cocktail is to include equal parts of 3 ingredients. So we're gonna start with our first ingredient. We're using a very mild mezcal. It's not too edgy, not too green, not too smoky. So 1 shot of our mezcal, and then we're gonna do 1 shot of Campari. Campari is really bitter Italian liqueur. Shot of that. I'm gonna use a really good sweet vermouth. 1 shot of that. I'm gonna add just a couple ice cubes to there just to chill it down. And again, no shaking. We're not gonna get to exercise those guns today. So we're gonna use precision. I'm gonna stir. We have a rocks glass, very simple. We don't need to use too much ice. You can use a couple ice cubes, a really big single ice cube always works really nicely. We're just gonna keep it simple here. All right, I'm just gonna strain this right into the glass. That way it's cold liquid on cold ice. That's usually it. And traditionally you'd put a little twist of orange in there, which would be really good. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm using lemon today, but we're gonna use burnt lemon. I'm gonna show you how easy that is. If you're old enough, all we're gonna do, I'm gonna take a little oval, little circle. So if you're really careful, and you have the skin side out, what we're trying to do is warm up those oils, just like this, just a little bit. Put that right around the edge, and all those oils, those burnt oils, be right on the glass, and then right when we're done, we'll place that right in the cocktail. So there you have it. You have the fusion Negroni, the wonder child, birthed from Oaxaca City and Florence, Italy. Jeremy, Michelle, I hope you'll take me with you next time you go. Hopefully sometime soon. Enjoy your Negroni and have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday on Good Morning Lompoc.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad. Stealing the thunder again.
Okay, that Negroni, that was like my dinner last night. I didn't quite get a chance to have dinner.
The first one or the second one?
Both of them. But
it was good.
I have to tell you, the burnt lemon and I think the mezcal too, that little bit of smokiness changed that bitterness into almost like a bitter chocolate undertone. So it's my new favorite cocktail. Again, I say that every week, but this time I think it's for real because I love. Is
Brad wearing his pager?
I love bitter sometimes.
We could send him we should give him a compliment.
Yeah.
Can we text a pager? I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
I don't get your jokes sometimes.
Well, he's just a lost in the past, obviously.
Oh, okay. But we need like the drums
That's
here.
All right. Someone got it out. Hopefully someone got that.
Yeah, you're the best dad joke teller. Anyways, Brad will also be at the food drive tomorrow.
We should talk about that. Yep. So check this out. I told Brad if he's going to keep hanging around, mooching off of Michelle and I, he needs to give back some way. So this is tomorrow. This is the food drive that's happening tomorrow, and there's 6 drop-off spots. It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. I wanted to give a shout-out to a friend who has already dropped off their donation, which I'm going to take and drop off for them. So
yes, thank you, Lori Jervis.
Yes, thank you, Lori. And to that point, tomorrow between maybe 10 and 11 or 10 and noon, I'm going to send Brad out to go pick up some food. So, if you live in Lompoc and you have a little bit and you want to give, but you don't necessarily have time to drive down to the store, message Good Morning Lompoc because we will send Brad. But you have to let us know by tomorrow morning pretty early. Make sure you send your address and he'll show up and maybe give a time that's good.
He'll socially distance.
He will wear clothes.
Yeah, he will wear clothes.
Yes,
he'll
that's
socially
important.
distance when he comes and picks up your food.
But we want to raise we want to gather as much food and donate it for the local food pantry here so that we can help feed those that really need to be fed. So if you want to help out, please let us know or drop your food off at one of those 6 locations. And that's tomorrow. Don't miss your chance. So.
And Jacob Cole wants to know if Brad has been working out because he was looking extra ripped.
This is not a question for me.
I think it was more so lighting because I think sometimes his whiteness kind of flattens out the muscles. So I think the lighting was a little more spot on to kind of get into those crevices.
I'm going to sew some sleeves on Brad's jacket. This is ridiculous. He gets so much attention. I'm wearing pink today, and no one said a thing.
Anyways, I think that's our show today.
Not yet.
We have an awesome performance by Anna Cole.
We're going to show that slide first before we went there.
Which one?
That with the Cole family.
You never sent me that.
Did I send you?
No, you sent me the video though. But we have a video.
Yeah. So before we go to that, just to make sure everyone knows who's who. So Jacob Cole's been since day one helping us with the music, intros and outros, and collecting music from different artists throughout Lompoc. Amazing guy. Thank you so much, Jacob.
Thank you.
His little sister Anna is starting off on her solo career, and one of her very first songs she performed, and she's done it for our show. We're super grateful.
Yes.
It's really beautiful. Anna Cole. So make sure you follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and all those things.
Yep.
The family, this is the family that we had talked about that GoFundMe a couple weeks ago. Their mom is dealing with pretty bad bout of cancer. She's the sweetest lady. A lot of you pitched in and helped in raising some funds for that GoFundMe. It's really helped that family, and they've expressed their thanks. They gave us a little video of mom and dad saying thank you, so we put that right at the beginning of this. But anyway, celebrate this family. They're awesome. We thank the Coles.
Thank you guys so much.
Anna Cole, for playing such a beautiful song.
You guys are amazing.
Before you play it, this is the end of the show after this, so don't forget, no happy hour tonight. We're taking the night off. We're going to relax. But
I'm actually going to go to my mom's tonight. It'll be like the first time I actually get to hang out with my mom in person, which I'm very excited about. And we're going to do a little pre-birthday celebration.
And next week starts the new schedule for Good Morning Lompoc. Not a big change. We're just not doing the Wednesday show. So Monday and Friday at 8:30.
Mondays and Fridays. So that means that the show will be even better. And we'll be speaking with Victor Jordan, who was the original Good News guy here in Lompoc. So we'll be chatting with him as well. So
okay, so before we go, turn your speakers up. This is Anna.
One more minor change. The drop-off locations is for the food drive. So we should put up this information. Thank you guys for catching us real quick.
Okay, what do they say?
So the drop-off locations, I can't read, is no longer... is that Walmart is no longer participating. So the drop-off points will be the parking lots of these Lompoc grocery stores from 9 to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Albertsons, Food Co., Grocery Outlet, Vaughn's, and the Village Market.
All right. Let us know so we can send Brad to pick up food. Thank you again, Anna Cole.
Guys.
This
and
is
thank
beautiful.
you for joining us. We hope you have an amazing weekend. We love you guys.
See you all on Monday.
Hey, this is Brian and Janelle. Just wanted to express our heartfelt thanks for all the wonderful love and contribution, the caring and the support for these crazy times a little bit, but we're all getting through it together, and that's the important thing. Appreciate it. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much. It means the world to both of us. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Lompoc. My name's Anna Cole, and thank you so much for having me on your show. All the love and all the best to you, Michelle and Jeremy, and to everybody that's tuning in. I'm going to be playing a song for you today called Someday, and enjoy.
Someday I'll go up and you'll come on down, down into a fire that turns cold. Someday I'll hear a voice, how it sounds okay. How you smile